What's up everyone, Chlorine King here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also tap that like icon and the bell icon so you get all my future videos. So it's that time of year, it's starting to cool down. Everyone's wanting to swim their pool year round, so they're going to look at pool heaters, which we can definitely help you with if you're in my area. This video is going to be an introduction to pool heating. The four main types of heating, although I don't really consider one a main source, but there's a lot of rumors and clients email me all the time about them, so I figured I would include it. We're going to talk about an overview of each type of heating, the initial cost roughly, and then of course the operational cost, so that way you guys can make the best decision for your pool as far as heating. You know, and I'm going to speak from experience from my location, my area here in Central Florida. You know, gas costs might be different in your area and all that fun stuff. So anyways, let's get to it. The first source of heating is solar blankets, solar rings, stuff like that. I despise those. One, they're a pain in the butt when you're maintaining the pool to have to take on and off when your service company is wanting to clean your pool, or if you're cleaning the pool yourself. Secondly, I don't consider it a source of heat. It's more or less keeping the heat in the water. Case in point, overnight when the system's off and the pool's not heating or circulating, you're going to lose a couple degrees through dissipation. The heat's just going to rise out of the water. Those solar blankets and solar rings are going to help keep that heat in there. Now, does it generate enough heat to really heat the pool? Maybe if you have a bathtub, but if you got a larger pool, the solar rings and blankets really aren't a real good source of heat. So this one I really don't believe in, although a lot of people out there think it's a source. I don't really think so. So that's the number one source. It's going to be your cheapest option to heat your pool, even though it's really not effective at it. And the operational cost of it, it's free, of course, because you're working off the sun. You know, some cons is they're easy to tear. They're a pain in the butt to actually use your pool with them in there and all that fun stuff. So that's the number one source. The next cheapest source is going to be gas, as far as installation costs. So you have natural gas or propane gas. The real pro to gas heating, it's the quickest way to heat your pool. Has a very small footprint on the pad, and you don't need any special type of electrical. It can run off the standard 220 timer, automation system, what have you. Gas heating, depending on which make and model and which size, could cost anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 installed. Just again, speaking from my experience. One of the cons, at least in my area, is the operational costs. Gas in my area and in the neighborhood is $7 to $15 a day. So you can see that can quickly add up if you're using your heater a lot. I know I've been told gas is cheaper up north, etc., but in my area, gas is pretty expensive to operate. And of course, too, here in Florida, we have a lot of smaller equipment pads. So getting one in to fit all the requirements of code, you know, staying away from windows, you know, stay out of easements and soffits and all that kind of stuff. They're a little more difficult and a lot more critical thinking to get them installed. Sometimes, you know, it's best to put them out in the middle of the yard, which is unsightly. So gas heating is the second source of heating for your pool. Again, not one of my favorites, but it is there. The third cheapest option is electric heat pumps, which is my personal favorite. The reason why is it's running off electric, so the operational cost is significantly cheaper. In my area, it's about $1 to $1.50 a day to heat the pool via electric, having it run on average, 8 to 10 hours a day. So one of the cons, though, is it's not as efficient as a gas heater, so you're going to be spending more time running it in order to bring it up to temperature, but the money you're saving is significantly worth it. In fact, the last heat pump course I attended, they said over the course of 10 years, you can expect to save around 50 to 60 grand of operational cost with electric over gas. So if you're looking at the long-term picture, electric's the way to go. And it's not terribly slow at heating the pool. Like for instance, the largest heat pump I install is normally 137 kBTU. Gas can go all the way up to 400 for residential anyways. So I mean, you can see it's about 25 to 30% of the power of a gas heater, but it's still going to, in a day or two's time, bring it up 20 degrees or so to where you're going to want the pool to be at. So the savings is significant. And if you're planning on a heat pump for a spa, it's going to heat it within 45 minutes. So I consider a spa not really advantageous to go gas over electric, because it's going to heat it just the same. So another con of electric is it needs its own 60 amp feed in order to power the device. So there's going to be an electrician involved to get that running, which is an additional cost to you. My electricians charge between $1,200 and $1,500 in addition to the cost of the unit itself. So talking about cost, depending on which heat pump you want to go with, there's a bunch out there. You could go anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 if you want to go with the heat cool units that they put out there, which is another perk over gas. Gas is heat only. Electric is actually can heat and cool the pool. I have one of those in my pool. Absolutely love it during the summertime when the pool feels like bath water. You can actually cool it down and enjoy your pool literally 24/7 at whatever temperature you want. So I'm a huge fan of electric heaters. The last, number 4, is solar. I can't install it. My liability insurance doesn't allow me up on the roof. Most pool liability insurance doesn't, so that takes out a lot of people like us installing those. They're the most expensive to install because you're having someone on the roof. You're having a lot of panels up there and all that stuff, valve actuators, and a lot of extra equipment to get it to heat. I've seen quotes of $10,000, $12,000 to get your solar plumbed in. Couple cons: if it's bad weather, rainy, if it's overcast, if you live typically in a very overcast area, it's not going to heat the pool all that well. In addition to that, something else that a lot of people don't think about is, in order to push water up to the roof, you really need a powerful pump. And a lot of pools, unless it's recently built, doesn't have what they call a high head pump, which is powerful enough to push the water up to the roof. One of my clients has a Superflow, which is a medium head pump, not really meant to draw the water up high or push it up high, on a 3-story house with solar, and that is just killing the pump. That pump's not designed for solar. So that's an additional cost you need to think about when you're wanting to go solar, is you may have to replace your pool pump in order to choose equipment properly to push the water up to the roof. To extrapolate that even further, if you have a 120 volt power system out of your pad, that limits your choices even further. So then you might have to actually upgrade your electric to 220 out of the pad in order to get the right pump for the solar. So you can see the cost of solar is much more expensive to install with some extra variables, but it's also free to operate. So, if you live in a very sunny climate, solar might be the way to go. One thing I'd be more cautious of is putting all that extra weight and water up on the roof. And when they do fail, they're problematic to fix. I mean, you're having to get someone on the roof. Generally speaking, in your northern climates, climates, you're worrying about the pipes freezing up on the roof, which could cause them to crack. And then next, season you plan to fire them up, you start getting massive leak on your roof. So those are the main 4 types of heating sources for your pool. I hope you guys learned a little bit about them. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment in the video. I'll be there to answer the questions however I can. And of course, consult your local pool professional if you're not in my area, and really iron down the best choice for your pool. So that's it for this video. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for another video. And guess what? We'll see you guys next video. Have a great day, everyone.